Hi guys! I promised I would jump on today and talk to you about the Muse Tarot, and there are a bunch of things that I want to fit into this video. Number one, there is a Lightseers update. Number two, I want to talk to you about what's included in your campaign that is really important. I want to bring you into my creator vision for the Muse Tarot as well. I want to talk to you about stretch goals and some of your comments and questions and concerns around those. And I want to ask you for your opinion on some of the stretch goals. So that is a whole bunch of things to go over. So I think I would like to start with my vision for the Muse Tarot. I think that's the best place to start. I want to bring you into that creator vision so that you can understand my choices as I built out the campaign, and we can go from there. So when I began to create the Muse Tarot, I was deep in the middle of creating the Lightseers Tarot. And the Lightseers Tarot, I have been asking the community for the last year for, do you like this concept or that concept? Even the name, I went to the community and I was like, which name do you like better? So on Instagram, I have been guided by community for the entire process of the Lightseers. It has been amazing, absolutely amazing. And on the other side of that, being guided, there was this other energy that kind of sprung to life after a couple of months of being guided. It was like a bat out of hell, this beautiful muse energy. It was a giant vision, a project. It was ethereal and tactile, and it was very experiential. And I had the opportunity when the idea came, as a creator, and you'll understand this if you're in the creative arts or you're an artist, the idea comes and you have the opportunity in that moment to say, yes, I will do it, or no. And I said yes, and it was all I could do. It was like ride the wave and try to produce and try to keep up to the ideas as it was happening. And it was beautiful. I mean, it felt like all of my creative essence, more aligned with my creative energy than any project I have ever done. Because of how much poetry came bundled with the ideas and how much muse energy there was, when it came time to decide on how this would all be delivered, how would the insights be delivered when there's poetry, it made sense that it wouldn't be a conventional delivery. I mean, the deck isn't conventional. The suits are not the suits, and the energy is quirky, and there are no kings, there are muses, and so the whole thing is it's fun, and it's unique, and it's so filled with life that I was imagining. I want to bring you into my reasoning with the tech. Imagine with me for a moment walking through a forest or doing your daily walk with your pup, whatever, if you're outside, and wanting to get insight. And sometimes people have decks in their purses, and I often do, and I'll often pull a card wherever I am. But I imagined, instead of looking for a printed guidebook after you pull your card, or you could pull the card on your phone, you could pop in a headset or throw the speaker on your phone and hear the audio message. And not only would you be guided by the audio insights, but the audio insights would change dramatically depending on where you were in that moment in time. I was imagining all of these beautiful synchronicities. Like, imagine the serendipity of hearing this audio while you're on the subway and looking at one thing versus hearing it while you're at the top of a mountain looking at another. It just lends itself to so much magic, this sort of format, this sort of delivery. And not only is it audio insights, but it's poetry. And so poetry is this language that also transcends specific meaning of language, right? It's kind of a language unto itself. I'll read a poem and you'll read the exact same poem, and we could take totally different meanings away from that poem depending on where we are in our perspectives and all of that stuff. So the idea of overlaying poetry with tarot feels like such a good match, and it felt like a way for people to really get tremendous insight based on exactly what they need in the moment. There's so much more it leaves the insight and the messages so open for intuitive divination that I really, this whole idea, the whole essence of the project, just, it lights something up in my soul. My artistic soul is happy when I think about this delivery and this format and this experiential walkthrough of the cards. So that is where I was thinking. Now I want to go over what is exactly included in the campaign. I think this is really important for us to go over the specifics of it. Okay, you're hearing those beeps. I've got some messages coming. We're just going to ignore them. I'm going to keep going. So, included in the pledge for the Muse Tarot, you have 79 cards printed on 400 GSM cardstock. If you go to your tarot collection, you are not going to find very many decks that are 400 GSM cardstock. It is a really thick, high-end, high-quality. The cards are also going to be laminated with a matte laminated finish, so it's like that buttery, soft, super smooth, very tactile feeling for the cards. The reason you don't find this very often in your deck collection is because it's really expensive to order this sort of deck. My cost per unit doesn't change between 500 and 1,000 on this type of service, and I can't order less than 500 because you have to go to a commercial printer. So anyways, you're going to get this amazing quality because this deck deserves that kind of quality. Also included in your pledge is the gilded edges. So your decks are going to come with either gold edges or colored edges. I'm not sure which way that's going to go yet. I want to see the full final deck to really make that final decision. Now, your guidebook that comes with it will be, because we hit the 40K, really amazingly quickly, like in less than 24 hours. And so can you imagine my surprise? That's my big dream goal, to get hit in 24 hours. Like, I didn't have a whole bunch of stretch goals in my back pocket all the way up. I had a few, but I didn't expect the campaign to do as well as it has. And I'm so grateful, but I should have had more stretch goals in my back pocket. So that said, I want to get back to the guidebook. The Muse Tarot Guidebook, I'm just going to read from the campaign, will be digitally created. And if we reach our stretch goal, it will become an app. So this is where some of the confusion lies, because I see in the comments that you guys are saying digital, printable, PDF. And digitally created guidebook for me does not mean a PDF printable. In my mind, I was looking at a digitally created guidebook that would be delivered on a website that would then turn into an app, and that guidebook, that digital format, would include all of the images, full color, journal prompts, the essence of each card, upright and reverse, the body and soul of each card, as well as the audio. That digital guidebook includes all of the experience that I wanted to deliver. I can't deliver that experience in a black and white guidebook because of this confusion between your understanding of digitally created guidebook and printable PDF guidebook. I have gone back and forth in some of the comments with you. I've seen that you're asking for something printed. Marge, this one's for you. Marge she supported my very first Kickstarter campaign, Marge. I will never forget it. And you said, at very least, give us a PDF printable that we can print out. And so you've got it. I'm going to do that. That's not something that is a smart business decision. It's not something that works for my heart and soul for this campaign, for my vision. However, I totally get that you guys want something where you are not connected. And so I will absolutely turn the text part of the app, obviously I can't do the audio, but the part that's text, the meanings, the journal prompts, and I will put them into a printable PDF for you. Now, it's not going to be in full color. It's going to be simple, but it will have everything that you need, and it will have all the information so that you can take it and work with it and run with it as something in your hands. Did I say thank you for all of your comments and concerns? I don't think I did. I want to say thank you for that. That's huge. I have that on my list, and that is ginormous. I need to be very, it is really a weird position for a creator to be in, to see that you have a product that people are purchasing that they say, yes, I want it, but it's not enough. That's such a unique, I've never been in that position before. I've been in the position of no, and I've been in the position of yes, I'll buy it, but I've never been exactly here. And so I want to thank you. I know that it's not easy sometimes to voice your questions and concerns, so thank you for being brave enough to do that if that felt a little bit strange for you. And I want to also really honor the fact that you guys are guiding me on how to make a better product. You guys are guiding me on the desires of the community. Yes, I have created another deck, but it was a totally different deck with a totally different audience, and there was a guidebook in it right from the get-go. So I am, for all intents and purposes, a fledgling deck designer, and this for me is wonderful knowledge and on-the-spot education. So thank you for all of your comments. I really, really, really wish, hindsight is 2020. I wish I had had the foresight to pad the margins in this campaign so that I could afford to give you all of the extra freebies that you are expecting of me. So this brings me to, let's look at where the campaign funds are going. I want to be super open with you guys. I suspect that there are people who look at the goal numbers and the final numbers and that think all of that money is, is profit, or that it goes into the creator's pocket, and that is totally not the case. So I want to do a quick pie chart, and I'm going to add it below so that you can also take a peek at it. 26% of the campaign goes to printing both decks. Remember, there are double the cost because we have 2 decks in this campaign. 3% goes to shipping the decks to me and customs brokerage and docking fees and all of that stuff to get them in my hands. Kickstarter takes 8 to 10% right away. There are printing tests that have to go back and forth with the printer for color tests. There's ink and supplies on this end of the screen. That's 2% of the campaign funding. App design is 6% to 6.5%. I'm leaving that 0.5 because I have not done an app before. I can do design and I've done program. I am in new waters here. And so I'm excited to jump into the app, and I know there's a large amount of the work that we can do in-house here, but I want to leave a little bit of a percentage for all of the things that I don't know. I need 2.5% for a technical designer, a graphic designer, to help me lay out some of this stuff and get it all prepped for print because it's a ton of work. There are 2% for packaging supplies like the bubble wrap and all of the bags that your stuff gets to you in so that nothing gets damaged along the way. 3% for pledge manager fees. Now that leaves 45%. That is all of the actual costs to get the product in my hand. There's 45% left over, and I suspect that many of you look at that and think that's 45% profit. A whopping 35% of that goes to shipping the decks to you. I want you to remember that that top line that you see of funding includes shipping. Not all creators do this. There are a lot of campaigns that you buy your stuff, and then when you give your survey, you have to pay for shipping afterwards. My campaign is structured in a way that your shipping is included in that final number. So the biggest chunk of the pie goes to shipping your decks out to you. That leaves 10% miscellaneous. Now that could be profit. That would be amazing. I've worked for a year already on this. It's going to be a year and a half by the time I get it into my hands and done and out, right? So 10% is for potential profit, but also for anything that I don't see, because this happens in campaigns like this. Right now, I expect the deck to weigh a certain amount, and I have based your shipping on that. But if I make a mistake, and if the boxes come in heavier than I thought, then we could go over into like 250 grams can be all the difference in the world in shipping costs, and all of a sudden my shipping could go up by $10 a person. And so I want to make sure that at the end of the campaign, I can afford to ship the decks to you. So that is me in all my openness, hoping that you will see that there is no room at all in this campaign for me to add something else to your package that could make it heavier for shipping, or even the base cost of what that means. I think if I could go back in time, I would have left my prices closer to retail prices. Right now the prices are at $55 Canadian per deck. When the decks are finished, they will be approximately $55 US. And so that 30%, when we flip the currency, that 30% is the profit margin. That's where money will be made. And so I decided not to put that profit into the campaign because I treated it like a, hey, let's get this launched, let's get it to market, let's do this together. And so I hope that helps to clarify why I am not just, you know, when you say, please give us a printed guidebook for free, I'm not saying absolutely, because there's no money for it. And I wish that there were. Let's talk about stretch goals and add-ons and make sure that we're super clear with where we are with these. Stretch goals, we've had the 20K stretch goal hit, which was a gloss spot varnish to make the Lightseers Tarot box just a little bit more beautiful. At 40K, we had the Muse Tarot app unlocked. At 90K, I did a stretch gift. The gift was that I am going to sign and number and limit the printing of this first edition. That makes the edition much more valuable. I can't just go and order another 500 if I want to sell more. This is a limited first edition, and signing them all also means committing to shipping them all from here. So it's about a week and a half of work to get that all done. But more importantly than the work that it's going to take on this side is I personally love to have a deck in my collection that is signed. That's like gold in my collection. It sits there and it's never leaving. And so that was my hope with that particular stretch goal. And I hope that you guys do appreciate that one. The final stretch goal that I just put out in the update yesterday was that I would look at doing a video walkthrough of the majors. What I was imagining for this particular stretch goal is to share how the artwork came to life. You know, maybe some of the sketches, midpoint, because I do have some of the midpoints sort of logged. This is what it looked like, this is where it went, this is what the final looks like, of course. And so we could look at the symbolism, we could look at the meaning, we could dig into my choices in a way that is a little more it's an easier thing to remember, especially for new readers if you see it on video and you really hook into the meaning of the card. That was my hope with that video walkthrough. I would love to offer the choice between this video walkthrough or an actual, you know, postcard size print of one of the cards. And so I want your guidance there. You tell me, which do you prefer? Is it A or is it B? And you guide me here and I will absolutely listen to your desires. Now for the add-on. The add-on, which is not a part of the campaign, which is not free, which is not a part of the pledge that you're doing. I am hearing you say that you want a printed physical guidebook. And so it was never my vision to create a regular guidebook for the Muse Tarot. It just was not in the cards for me. I was imagining something completely different, but you guys are asking for an actual, just want the guidebook, just the tarot, just the essentials, just the meaning of the cards. And so I want to know from this community, is that something that you want me to create that you would have to purchase? I can't create it and have one person purchase it. It's not a good use of my time and my energy, and that would be crazy, right? But I can create it if I hear from a lot of you who say, yes, we want this. And so that is everything that I wanted to share with you. It was a super long video. I am so grateful for your input, for your feedback, that you care enough about the campaign to really get in there and be passionate about it. I'm so grateful for that. That is everything that I could ever want for this campaign. And so that is it, and that is all. And I wish you all the joy and luck and success and happiness in the next 9 days as we run through the end of this campaign. And I will see you soon.